Today, I want to tell you something about a very special person. Her name is Margaret. Margaret was born nearly 1,000 years ago in the year 1045. She was raised as a member of the Hungarian court like a princess because her family was related to the king. When she was 12 years old, she went to England to get more education. Then the Normans conquered and took over England. Margaret, her mother, and her brother tried to escape in a ship and return to Hungary. Their ship was blown off course and landed instead in Scotland, a rather wild country, and in the opposite direction of where they were trying to go. Margaret and her family were welcomed by Scottish King Malcolm III. King Malcolm fell in love with the beautiful and gentle Margaret, and they were married in 1070 when Margaret was 25 years old. Like I said, Scotland was rather a wild place at this time. King Malcolm was a good man, but he was more of a soldier than a gentleman. Margaret helped him to become a gracious leader. Together they cared about the poor, and they did all they could to help them. King Malcolm and Queen Margaret had 8 children, and all of them grew to love and care for the poor as their parents had. And Margaret was a prayerful person. She gathered women together to study the scriptures and sew decorations for the church. And she was always surrounded by beggars, and she gave them food and money and clothes. She set up hospitals and homes for people in need. During the special seasons of Advent and Lent, she and her husband would wash the feet of people in need and give them money on their way home from church. Margaret fed children who had no parents. She brought the love of art and education to her people, and the people loved her in return. Margaret's children were wonderful leaders who followed the parents' example and brought Scotland years of peace and prosperity. Margaret was a kind and generous leader, and someone who lived her faith each and every day by showing God's love to everyone. In the year 1250, the Catholic Church decided that Margaret should be declared a saint, and she became the special saint of Scotland. The Apostle Paul was a follower of Jesus, and that was almost 2,000 years ago. Paul wrote some of the Bible, and he is sometimes called Saint Paul. Paul was an important man in helping to build and grow the church when Christianity was a brand new religion. Paul wrote that all Christian believers are saints, not only people whose faith and good works make them famous and brought special recognition, like Margaret of Scotland, but also people like you and me and everyone sitting in this church today. All of us who believe in God and love Jesus and want to serve Him, we all are saints. And I recently read this about saints, and this is important for you to hear. Saints are big dreamers. They believe that God is on their side, and no one and nothing can stop them. Saints are go-getters. They don't wait for someone else to do good first. They jump right in. Saints are love bringers. They try to see Christ in every person, in every situation. Saints tell us what matters most in life is not what we earn or what we own, not the job we have or the people that we know. What really matters is how much we love God, others, and ourselves, and how well we show that love in all that we do.